Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Can you start from zero? This podcast is sponsored by X-Wolf Testosterone Builder. Gentlemen, are you struggling in the body, sex, or mental game? Need to keep pace with multiple women? There is an answer for you. X Labs presents a proven line of products to help in those areas. Our X-Wolf Testosterone Booster aids in intense workouts in the gym and in the bedroom. Increased blood flow and a heightened libido are just a few of the many benefits. X-Wolf contains all natural ingredients that have been used in Eastern medicine for centuries. All products come with a 30-day free trial and free standard shipping. Click the link below in the description box to find out more. Quantities are limited. Make a select choice, unleash your inner wolf, and lead the pack today. Can you start from zero? That's a very important thing. Because you know what? Man, I talked about stepping up as a man, but one of the things just going through life, bad shit gonna happen. It's a cycle of life. As a man, things are going to happen. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to feel like from birth to the end of life, everything is just nice and perfect. You just making the perfect money. You get the perfect woman. You live in a perfect place. But shit goes down. Shit goes down. And you never know when something can hit. And that's even for successful people. If you read the biographies or listen to the stories of even the most successful people, they'll tell you when they went through something bad. I use the example of Will Smith. Will Smith. I remember he was doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a popular show. I think it ran for 6 seasons. You know, he's making money, people knowing him and everything. After that show, he had to move back home. He had to move back home with his parents. He making all that money. He had to move back home. He went down. Now, of course, he came right back up. And that's a lot. In fact, it's been said that millionaires are bankrupt, may go bankrupt three times. Like on average. And you look at a lot of entrepreneurs. Because that's ultimately what I am. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. There's times entrepreneurs go through some stuff. Now, my books, I've had my publishing company since 1996. 1996. Well, different versions. 2 versions. One was, named, had the initials of my grandmother, mother, and sister. And now, it's just under my last name now, right? And I've had different versions. Now, there were times I started off at the bottom, rose to the top, then went right back down to the bottom. Making a bunch of money from the books, and then maybe if I be good, there was a period where I'd say maybe a few months I was good if I sold 1 book that month. Seriously. Now, it came back from that, obviously, but I mean, that's how it was. Yeah, when was this? There was a period. It was a tight-ass period. It was one of the tightest. I mean, yeah, I came back up from it. But, you just go through that. And anybody who's been any entrepreneurs on here, shoot, feel free to share. Share that. If you got you had that time, you had a down period. And then that's just life. How many people have had been on that job and been furloughed? In fact, now, there was a lot of people who've been furloughed from a job, and they might have been on that job for years. Now, some of them will get it back. Some of them might not. Things happen. Or, sometimes it could be an emergency. I remember another time, I remember my freshman year in college. I was going to class. I was wearing neckties to class. Had all my polo shirts. My Ralph Lauren looking fly. All that. All of it went up in a poof of smoke. When the building I was living in as a freshman at St. Joseph's burned to the ground. It burned to the ground. I got out with my pajamas on. But then I had to start all over. And it happens in life. It's no shame. Things happen. The thing is, if you hit that bottom, can you come back up? That's the key. You see, a lot of people hit the bottom, and that's it for life. There's many people, many men, they'll reach their 50s and 60s. And, like I remember, I'd never forget, and this was years ago. I was driving through Baltimore. And I wasn't even living in Baltimore at the time. I was actually coming to Baltimore to pick up some books from a book distributor. All right? And I happened to drive past this, it's like a soup kitchen or something. I believe it was a soup kitchen. And it had nothing but men lined up. Now, a lot of people might look at these guys and say, oh, these guys homeless and they all that. And some people look down on them. But I was looking at them and I was thinking, well, how many of these guys might have went to, had a good job somewhere? How many of them might even have college degrees and stuff? And I've actually seen some guys. I forgot why I was at a homeless shelter one time. And I wasn't there for myself. It was some type of business. I forgot why I had to go there. Oh, I remember. It was when I was working as an investigator at the D.C. courthouse, independent investigator. That was actually my first real entrepreneurial thing. And I had to try to catch up with somebody, hit them with a subpoena. And they were at a homeless shelter. And I remember looking at the guys in there. And some of these guys, they look better educated than I was. And shit. And I was at the graduate level at American at the time when I saw this. They looked that well. They looked like they came from something, but they hit zero. And, it's no shame there. There's no shame. It happens. And like I said, some people stick with it. But as a man, and this is every man got to look in the mirror. If you get hit with that, can you start from zero? Now, I ain't going to shout out this dude's name, but he'll listen and know. I remember I did a car video. And in the car video, I said, this is what you need to do if you really want to be red pill. I said, sell all your possessions. Come down to maybe like the clothes on your back, maybe some stuff in a backpack at best. Get rid of your credit cards, get everything, get a one-way ticket to a city that you don't know anybody. One-way ticket. All right? And just go there. And I said, if you can survive that year, you'll be red pill. All right? And I actually had a young man who actually did that. I don't know if he did it to that extent, but he actually moved to the hood, and he's kicking ass now. But he was able to start from zero. And every man got to ask themselves, can you do that? What if you don't know what can happen? Sure, I don't know what could happen here. Yeah, I'm doing very well now, but you don't know what business all of a sudden be like, oh, we ain't doing this anymore or something. You never know. Now, I don't see anything happening, but you never know. Like I said, when I was doing, first started, I say, when my publishing business really took off where I could live just off the publishing, shoot, I had a whole network of bookstores I could sell my books in. But all of a sudden, when the publishing industry started to change up, consolidate more, bookstores started to close, and ebooks became popular, that dropped my network. Now, that was the thing that dropped that down. So I was like, shoot, I had my whole network. It was, and I was living very well on it. I was living very well. I wasn't six figures with it, but I'd say well over 50 at the time in 2003 money. Well over that. I forgot what it was exactly. It wasn't quite six figures. I'd say high five figures with it. But went down to zero. But I was able to come back from it. And that's the thing. You got to look at yourself, because that's the key. Because, see, a lot of people get lucky, but then when they get hit with that thing, boom. In fact, I got a book, one of my fiction books is called Starting from Zero. One of my fiction books. In fact, I'm gonna put a link to it in the description box, because that's the whole thing. A guy goes down to zero. And see, sometimes that going down to zero ain't always a monetary thing. You could go down to zero just emotionally. Like a bad breakup could take you there. Bad breakup, something happening. Like you might even still had a job and everything else, but emotionally you just a wreck. Can you start from zero? And that's a very important piece. So I want you to think on that, all right? Look at yourself in the mirror and say, if everything was taken from me, can I build it back up? And like be honest with yourself. Can you build it back up? So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.